So after making my last video about UNC's quarterback Drake May, there was an overwhelming response from folks that wanted to see me talk about Jayden Daniels. And let me first say that during the season last year, I had no idea or thoughts that Washington would even have a chance at going at Daniels. Fact is, I never thought the team would be that bad. That said, let's just dive right into the film. Now today I'm going to be looking at film from 3 different games, and I figured I'd start with the Alabama game. Now this play came together for a series of different reasons, including having one of the better wide receivers in the country and having a quarterback with an arm that's built like a cannon. Of course, it doesn't, hurt the fact that Alabama didn't play real well on this. Number 2 right here bit and jumps up and leaves the back end wide open. Literally, this play right here was won the moment this player right here stepped into the box and then decided to leave the back end wide open. Of course, you can make a really good argument that this man right here just lost control of the back end as well. No matter what though, Daniels comes out looking like the golden goose right here that, is throwing an unbelievable pass that goes for a touchdown. When you watch it back from this direction, you can see this is just simple pitch and catch. I mean, the defenders bite on it and it's over the top. Boom. Now, one thing that I have noticed amongst all of the criticism that this guy gets, which by the way, it seems to be quite a bit of criticism coming this guy's way for a guy that won the Heisman last year and that only threw 4 picks in a conference that's as defensive minded as the SEC is. Now that may not seem like a lot to some, but when you start looking at his stat sheet and seeing how many times he threw the ball, you'll see what I mean. And a lot of what I've heard is that he's not real good, throwing on the move, or that once he comes off of his mark and starts moving around in the pocket or moving around, that his mind is set to just run and not throw down the field or not look down the field and then look to move the ball in the air. And as you'll see from this play right here, that's just simply not true. First read he makes is on the right side of the field up there, and he sees that his guy is not only covered, he's triple covered. You can see he's got guys all over him, right? Not to mention he's got other eyes pointing that direction already. What Daniels does is he looks back the other direction and he sees his other man cutting back across the field right here. Now, right as he sees his guy is coming open, the line starts to break down a little bit. And he has to move the pocket on the outside, as you see right here. 44 starts to come inside a little. Now, as that wide receiver starts to break, he rolls right. He lets go of the ball. The man catches the ball down the field. Watch it back from this direction. As you'll see, play starts. He looks right, sees his man is triple covered, looks back across. Here comes the pressure, moves out, makes the pass. Nice completion. Here's a nice little tight window pass that goes for a touchdown right here. I mean, yeah. And that was a couple of seconds, to be honest with you, that was a couple of seconds away from being an interception right there. But he found the smallest of windows right there and made that work. Watching it back from this direction, you'll see the defender is actually a couple seconds behind the pass. If not, that could have been, maybe a pick if the player reacts a little faster there. But honestly, looks just like a perfect play to me. And the receiver gets in because he spins over there. Now, this quarterback saw a lot of scheduled runs last year with LSU. His speed is not so much side to side, but man, he's got some straight on speed. The only thing that I really see with him running the ball that really bothers me is a big thing. He just does not slide. I mean, this guy does not do it. And on this play, he kind of runs straight up too, but he runs into the defenders. Obviously, there's 2 sides to this discussion. Obviously, on one side of the discussion, you could say, oh, what, you don't want a guy that fights for every single yard. But of course, on the other side of the discussion is where I'm going to sit and I'm going to say, I would like it if I could see this guy slide a little bit more. I realize that you lose some of the big splash play chances when he slides, but you also lose the chance of him getting that knee injury or getting whatever injury, him being up on a shelf and not being able to play. It just bothers me to see him get hit. Now, as I was saying before, a lot of people, see this guy and they think that he just, takes off out the pocket and he doesn't look past one read, or he isn't trying to throw the ball down the field when he moves around in the pocket. But on this play right here, the play starts to break down and there's nothing going on downfield. There's no receivers open, so he has to take off. And when he does, he's able to gain the type of yardage that you need to get a first down. This is the, the type of play right here that you want to see your player doing here, and he finds his way out of bounds. I mean, you don't want a guy that's got happy feet, but at the same time, you don't want a guy that's taking sacks or taking unneeded pressure when he can escape and get downfield when there's nothing there. This play right here, he's able to make a couple of moves, shift a little bit, and get into the end zone. I mean, and that's what matters, right? It just bothers me that this guy puts himself out there, and there's just a chance of him getting hurt so many different times on so many different levels. Now here's a big example, of one of those plays where he takes off after there being nothing there. It's third down. He has to get down the field. He almost gets sacked. And right here, he's got the first down. He could slide right there, but he decides not to, and the defenders catch him from behind. Now, as we can see, there was no choice. He had to escape the pocket. He had to go. I just feel like he gets a little bit reckless when he gets to that point right there. Now, thankfully, he didn't get hurt right here, but he almost got horse collar there. On this play right here, he doesn't get so lucky. Things break down, and he goes up the middle, and he gets jammed up quick. I don't like seeing the quarterbacks taking hits like that from those big guys up the middle, man. That's just not a good idea for a guy. Yeah, that's just not a good idea to take a hit like that for a guy that has a frame that's like that. Now, Daniels didn't even have a lot of turnovers last year, but the couple that I did see on film weren't even his fault. Like this one right here, the ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. Alabama defender picks it off, It is what it is. If you watch it back from this direction, you'll see, as I was saying, ball gets tipped. Alabama defender gets his hands on it. There it is. Slight evidence here of him maybe staying stuck on one receiver, but he looks across the center here, and he sees 86 there right before he turns to make this pass. And I'm not certain why he didn't look further, but when he looks, the guy is still stuck in coverage right here, as you see. As he looks to the right over there, though, 86 breaks across and is wide open right there. Now, the reason why this doesn't really matter is the guy he throws to, he makes the catch, gets the first down. As you see from this direction, he never really looks to the left all that much at all. He stays locked in over there to the right. And a little bit more evidence of him staying locked in on one guy on this play, too. I mean, he turns, he makes this play right here. It's a hell of a pass. They get the first down and everything. And the man slips his guy, breaks free, gets a touchdown. So I'm not upset, but at the same time, the man up there at the top of the field, I'm almost about 70% certain if he would have tossed it right about now, that's a touchdown. I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, you still scored no matter what. So who's complaining? I'm not an LSU fan, so I'm not going to pick it apart. But in my eyes, the better pass probably would have been up top. His eyes were elsewhere. He made the play, and his receiver was able to slip his guy and get in the end zone. So it is what it is. If you watch it back this direction, though, you'll see he doesn't look up top at that man. Now, in this play right here, he makes the right decision, sees, a whole lot of pressure coming from his left side, and makes the throw before his man ever comes out of his route, and makes the throw. Now watch, he sees that pressure coming right there and lets it go. First down. And if you watch it from this direction, you'll see as soon as he reads the pressure, he knows immediately where to go with the ball. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. Now, every once in a while, a play happens and you can't explain why it happened, how it happened, whatever the hell. This is one of those times right here. I mean, he just throws the ball up. His guy just happens to be unbelievably wide open right there. Like, how in the hell does that happen right there? How the hell does a defender let his guy get behind him and on the side of him that bad? Now, watch this now. The inside corner is actually the guy that comes back into this play and kind of tries to save it. But 16 right here just gets killed. I mean, how do you get beat that bad on a pass like that? It's just like, wow. And his man goes all the way down the field and scores. I mean, damn. And Daniels goes to his progressions and then just makes, a normal throw right here. And their defense just really bombs out on that one. Just perfect execution, though. You can't ask for anything more than a touchdown that goes like that, right? Let me just say this. If I was an LSU coach, I would have just been full of cringe moments in this Florida State game. This guy takes a lot of unnecessary hits, man. I do see people compare him to Griffin, and I don't know if that's really the greatest comparison because he's got a much better arm than Griffin, but I can see a little bit of that RG3 hero ball coming out in him when he's running around the field. Now, on some plays like this one, he's smart and he gets out of bounds. But truth is, I've been hearing people talk about this, this mobile quarterbacks running around the field and not sliding for several years now, ever since, Michael Vick was over at Virginia Tech. It definitely adds an exciting element to the game. And if they can stay healthy, it really is something that, shakes a game up. But then you see your guy, your number 2 pick, if it is, take a hit like this, and everybody cringes until he gets back up. This was the first game of the year for LSU, and Florida State was just all over them with pressure, man. And he got hit quite a few many times and got sacked, 2 or 3 different times as well. None of which I don't believe were his fault. I believe they were all on the offensive line. And on this one right here, he's actually trying to read the field and move around in the pocket to make a play to his man coming across the middle right here, and the line breaks down and he gets sacked. I showed one of his interceptions on the season here a little bit ago. Here's another one. And as you see right here, this is not his fault. The receiver slips and the defender is there to just pick the ball up and run with it. As you see from this direction right here, when he lets go of the ball, the receiver is ready to catch it and his receiver slips, and yeah, that's what happens. Daniels made the tackle on both interceptions though. I'd say this sack was on Daniels right here though. He sees that there's nothing going on right here. He tries to roll out. He should have got rid of the ball right there. I'm not sure why he did not. I think this could possibly qualify as him trying to play hero ball right here. I mean, nothing but maroon jerseys there all over the place, and he tries to extend it. You see his arm move right there, like right there, and he probably should have just gone on and let go of the ball right there. Now in this play right here, he lets it go long, and this is a pretty pass, and I really like this play, and their receivers are really good too. He pulls that one in like it was nothing. Just beautifully done. He reads the one-on-one with his man, sees that there's nobody over the top to help, sees that 14's kind of behind the play, and he drops in a beautiful pass right there. Just a great play, great execution. Here's another one, just a great throw right here. He drops it right in to the receiver's breadbasket, and Florida really couldn't do much with this right here. I mean, what can I say? And those that say that he's only a one-read guy, not true on this play right here, as he does look left over there to see if the other guy going long is open, which he's not, and then he throws it to number 11. As you see, he starts off, looks left a little, and then makes the play. And that's a nice pass too. Now, here's a good example of him going through all of his progressions down here by the goal line, finding his guy, and getting the touchdown. I mean, you actually probably couldn't ask a whole lot more of him of that then, could you? Again, if you watch his helmet, you could see him reading what the defense is going to give him, seeing his man wide open right here coming out the backfield, getting it. This is just a well drawn up play right here that Florida just bites on. I mean, they get him right here. The receiver starts to go across the field, but then cuts back down towards the sideline, and they make a perfect play right here. What's crazy is the amount of yak yards that he's able to get right here. Look at that. He catches it on like the 47, and he ends up getting tackled like on the 20 somewhere about. It's like the 17, so it's like a 30-yard yak gain. It should be pointed out that when I started looking at this film, I was looking at Daniels, and by the end of it, I was looking at number 8, Neighbors for LSU. The dude is unbelievable. Somebody's going to get one hell of a receiver out of him. Just watch him. Makes that cut back inside, and then he just takes off. I mean, he ain't really even trying to do a whole lot there, and then gets an extra, like 27 yards is what I was saying. Again, here's number 8 right here doing his thing. And yeah, man, Daniels finds him in the end zone with a perfect pass over the heads of 2 defenders that were just, I don't even know if they saw that ball coming at all. But yeah, if you watch it back from this direction, you'll just see it's just a perfect pitch and catch right here. And that's not even Neighbors right there, which is crazy. Their receivers are so good. One red flag for me, it seems like in every game that I looked at of his, there was at least one of these, maybe 2, where he should have let go of the ball and he ends up running to the sideline. Now, in this particular situation right here, I don't think that he lost any yardage, but yeah, I mean, this is just an unnecessary hit. Now, in this one right here, this one was not his fault. His line should be taken out back and beaten for this right here. They get him killed almost. You watch it back from this direction right here, you'll see what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he makes a cut back, and maybe it's the wrong one, but there's 4 guys waiting for him. Now, this is the type of play right here that when this stuff right here happens, it's hard to argue with those that say, hey, man, just let him do his thing. He's out there cooking. Let him do his thing. He's going to show you why he does that, why he doesn't slide. Let him do his thing. And he's looking all through his reads right here. He's trying to throw the ball, but when he can't, he makes a move inside and then outside, and then boom, he's gone. I mean, he's down the sideline and he gets out of bounds. I say it again, the kid may not be all that big on sliding, but I have noticed he will get out of bounds down the field if presented the opportunity. There he kind of bounces, but I do see some shades of RG3 on this play right here. I would be lying if I didn't say that. I'll say it again, though. This kid has an arm that's better than Griffin's, but yeah, man, that right there reminds me of an RG3 run right there. As you see it back from this direction, defense bites on that handoff right there big time. Everybody goes inside. He goes outside. He had a block, which sprung him, and then down the field, 11 makes enough contact that springs him all the way. And then on this play right here, he almost had the same damn thing happen again. Makes a couple little jukes, cuts back to the outside, and he gone again. But this time he steps out of bounds smartly. And I say smartly because if he didn't step out of bounds, he would have most certainly taken a hit on that one. I don't know what it was about Florida, but Florida just kept giving this kid lane after lane to run through. And he took advantage of it, as you see. Couple little moves here and there, little cut inward and back outward, and this guy is gone. I mean, yeah, didn't they know? Kind of makes you wonder why Florida didn't, try to play contain on this guy at all, because he was just killing them. I mean, look at this. He reads the defense. There's nothing there, so he takes off. And yeah, like I said, man, a couple little jukes, juke inward, juke outward, and then gone. Touchdown. Guys, it doesn't take a brain scientist to see that Jayden Daniels is an elite athlete, which is why he won the Heisman Trophy last year. And when I look at his tape, I see a guy that can do a lot of things with the football. He's a tad bit reckless when it comes to, running it on the ground, although I have seen the fruits of that labor, and you have to sit there and wonder, is one worth the other? On the NFL level, how much of those runs is he going to be able to get away with? The speed of the game is a lot more intense at the next level. Now, while he was playing in the SEC, yes, that is one of the more NFL ready conferences to be coming up in. Reality is still there. But, when you talk about this guy, you cannot have the conversation without talking about his arm, too, because he's got one. Does he need to grow more as a passer? Sure. But I think every prospect at that level coming out of college really probably should. But I've seen a lot of people comparing him to Lamar Jackson, which I could see where they get that comparison from, although I do believe that Lamar is a little bit better, like left to right, so to speak, in my opinion. And I see a lot of people comparing him to Griffin, although I do believe that RG3 did not have the arm that this kid has. And I went through a lot of Griffin's film coming out of college. And I know that Jayden Daniels spent some extra time in college, with the transfer and the extra year. So I know he's probably a little bit more mature than Griffin was coming out of college as well. When a team is looking at a guy like this, there's always a chance that these guys don't work out, they get hurt, whatever the case may be. What they're trying to do is figure out, is the juice worth the squeeze? But let me share with Dane Brugler, a guy from The Athletic, a guy that I actually respect his opinion a lot more than I would Mel Kiper. But let me share what he said. He said, when evaluating the quarterback position, NFL teams focus on the ability to create explosive plays, and Daniels accounted for a remarkable 90 plays of 20-plus yards in 2023. Let me repeat that. Daniels accounted for a remarkable 90 plays of 20-plus yards in 2023. As a passer, Daniels has balanced feet and uncoils with a rapid release to layer throws to all 3 levels, doing his best work on deep throws, slot fades, posts, etc. With his poise and athletic instincts, he can buy time, access different platforms, or create explosive runs. He must do a better job, however, preserving his lean body instead of trying to prove how tough he is as a finisher. It isn't meant to be an apples to apples comparison, but Daniels forces opponents to defend him like Lamar Jackson. Now, something that Washington fans have heard a lot of the last few years is explosive plays. And to hear that number right there, 90 plays of 20 plus yards in 2023, in a defensive natured division of the SEC, to me that says a lot. And I also believe, a lot like Lamar Jackson had to do, I believe when he gets in the league, that he probably needs to add a good 15 to 20 pounds. Yes, that will slow him down a little bit, but at 6'3", 205, to me, he's probably just a hit waiting to happen that's going to slow him down anyway. And I hate to put it that way, but the guy's a little bit light in the ass, and I don't want to see somebody of his dynamic, stature get hurt and be forced to be somebody that has to sit in the pocket all the time and not be able to move around. Now, the right quarterback setup, guru, coach, whatever you want to put it, the right guy could get this guy to a level of football player that maybe we haven't even seen before. Who knows? The right system, the right coaches. I think this kid could do a whole lot. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Y'all take it easy. Peace.